Hey everyone, IntoWeapons back again with ya. Wanted to do a quick unboxing video with you and just an overview video of a new rifle that I purchased. Wanted to get out and get one due to recent events. While the getting was good, it seemed like a lot of the supplies were drying up of a lot of the AK-47 and AR-15 type rifles. So I do want to get another AR-15, maybe a carbine or a pistol version. But I really wanted to add another AK-47 to my collection. I really wanted to get an Arsenal SLR-101S, but unfortunately I waited about a month too long and missed the boat on that one. The supply dried up very quickly, much quicker than I originally anticipated. So went to my local gun dealer and was originally looking for just a cheap AK-47 I could add to my collection. Mainly maybe a Wasser 1063 or something similar to that. That's kind of what I was thinking I was ultimately going to be able to find, again with the supply kind of drying up. But so, to my surprise, they actually had a better option for me, in my opinion, which is the what you're looking at here, the Zastava N-PAP M70. This is the Generation 2 version of it, which means it doesn't have any rail on the top dust cover, and it does have a side scope mount on this side, which is nice. Most of the ones you find nowadays are the Generation 3, which do not, as far as I understand, have the side scope mount rail, but does have that top dust mount cover, which is kind of nice. So just kind of depends, I guess, what you prefer. So as you can see here, I got this package here. It did run me a little bit more than the 1063 they had. The 1063 Wasser, I believe they had priced on there was about $550 if I remember correctly. This one was priced at $730, so you do the math with the background and tax and everything, it was right around $770 I believe. So a little bit more expensive, but ultimately a little bit better quality, and I'll kind of go over the reasons why. After a minute here, I'll just kind of go through what it came with. It has the original, or the usual I should say, trigger thing that they mark each one of these imported guns with. Did come with the owner's manual, the standard Serbian certificate that you'll normally find with these Russian block guns, and came with the owner's manual there, as you can see. In the owner's manual, in fact, it has the, I'll see if I can show that to you guys, has the model on there, which has got the dust cover on there. It does, I believe, come with a thumb hole stock on some of them, but this particular one, as you can see, doesn't have that. It did come with two 30-round magazines. A lot of times you'll hear, and this may be with the Generation 3, that it has the bolt hold open after last round feature. The two magazines I received with the Generation 2 does not have that feature, it looks like. I did test these magazines out, and it doesn't hold back, and it looks like that would be the case. But as you notice on the rifle, it does actually have the bolt hold open feature on the safety mechanism. And this safety mechanism is very tight, I have to tell you. I might have to go in there and just kind of bend that out a little bit just to make it a little easier. But it comes with, I guess, tiki wood or something like that for the buttstock and the fore end. You can always tell it's a Zastava N-PAP because it has these holes cut up here. Actually very similar to my PSL, which is kind of nice. And my Mac 90, I believe, has those as well. But the standard AKs won't usually have that. I believe the furniture on this is Yugoslavian based, so a lot of the replacement handguards and stocks that you'll find for AK-47s, as far as I understand, will not work for this. So just to kind of briefly show you guys here, we'll safety check that for you. It looks, it feels very good. It doesn't have a whole lot of hang up as it goes through the cycle. It's not the cleanest action I've ever felt, especially compared to the Arsenal SLR-101S, but it's definitely higher quality in my opinion than what you'd find on a lower grade AK. So they put a little bit more effort into this particular rifle. So over on the right hand side, it's pretty clean. It's got the fire safe standard Yugo style receiver. It does have the Century Arms stamp there. It's got a standard rubber pistol or plastic pistol grip. I'll have to change that out right away. That is attached the standard way that any other AK pistol grip would be. It does have a straight cut receiver, which I know a lot of these PAP M70s have an angle cut receiver, and I think that might even be the Generation 3 too. I'm not 100% sure on that. But this will allow me to go ahead and have a little bit more availability for replacement stock options. The one thing you'll notice with this gun is there is no rear tang on this particular gun, and that is because the stock is held in with a bolt that goes through the rear of the stock here. You have to remove this butt pad, and due to that there's a special an add-in modification that you can add here. There's a couple companies that make it, which allow you just to screw in your replacement buttstock. So I think you're a little bit limited too, as well as how many buttstocks are available just to be kind of thrown on here. As we go forward here, as I mentioned, we do have the safety selector, which has the bolt hold open feature, which is kind of nice. If you're at the range and stuff, that's always a plus. It does have the, looks like it's just a standard stainless steel bolt, easy to wipe clean, and generally the wear on it, the bluing, usually goes away anyway, and this way you don't have to worry about that. It's got the serial number on the bolt and on the receiver itself over on the left hand side of the gun, which is matching due to it being a new gun. It is patterned after the M70 Zastava, but this is actually a sporter configuration that was brought into the country as a parts kit, and the importer milled out the receiver, being that it was a single stack, into a double stack magazine. I've been told that most of these bolts still have the single stack bolts in there. To tell you the truth, I can't really tell the difference, so that's something I'll have to research a little bit more on. But I fed a few rounds through it, some dummy rounds, and it feeds perfectly. I did notice it dimples the front of the nose of the round, so I'm hoping that doesn't affect the performance of the spinning through the air and the dynamics of the bullet itself. But overall, it looks like they did a pretty decent job there. All of the cuts are clean. I don't see any misshapen areas. The magazine wobble is very minimal in these. Next, none compared to a lot of other lower type quality AKs. Moving forward, we have the standard AK type rear sights. We have an open globe front sight. It does look like the front sights are canted a little bit, so I'll have to work on that. It does come with a cleaning rod, and I believe these bayonet lugs will work for your standard AK bayonets. It is 922R compliant at this point in time because of the number of American parts that they put on it, including this slant Tapco brake. There's also a G2 trigger in here that's US made, and a few other pieces such as the pistol grip. I want to say the furniture, but I could be wrong. But in either case, it brought up to 922R compliance. So if you ever switch one of those kind of pieces out, you'll have to make sure that you're doing it with an American-made manufactured piece. Over on the left-hand side of the gun, we have as I mentioned before, the side scope mount, which is really helpful if you don't have the top of these dust cover mounts, which I'm not a big fan of. People say that those will hold zero, but I'm kind of a skeptic on that. I tried that with my Draco. Being it wasn't the best dust cover mount, it still was more or less junk. So I prefer these side scope mount rails. That's more of opinion though. It does say Zastava Serbia on there, which is kind of cool. And that's pretty much it for the left hand side. As you can tell, it is a stamped receiver, but it is actually a little bit better than a standard AK-47, being that it's 1.5 millimeters thick instead of the standard 1.0 millimeter thick receiver wall that you'll find. So that's kind of a plus. Although it's not a milled receiver like the Arsenal SLR that I wanted, that will definitely still be a nice receiver wall. You'll notice that we do have the rivets on here instead of welds, which some people prefer, and that's more of an opinion, I guess, again. Unfortunately, this gun does not have the chrome line barrel. I believe it is a 26-inch barrel. It does not have a chrome line barrel, which kind of sucks. I was hoping to have that. It definitely helps with providing resistance from corrosion, especially if you're shooting some corrosive ammo, which I tend not to do, but in either case, that it keeps it cleaner. It's a lot easier to clean, and ultimately, again, just provides protection from that corrosion. So overall, really nice piece, guys. I'm happy that they had one on the shelf for me to grab. They had 3, he said, in stock, and when he went back, he actually came back and said he only had the one that he had on the shelf, which is the one I purchased. He said he must have sold the 2 that morning and the system hadn't updated. So these are flying off the shelves. If you can get to your local gun store and buy an AK-47 and an AR-15, if you have the money, now is the time to do it. Even if, you know, an assault weapons ban doesn't go into play, you know, I was kind of a skeptic up until that recent shooting, unfortunately. I think that really drove a lot of politics and people to really push for something. So, you know, it might be coming, I have no idea, but I'm going to be prepared either way. I want to have a couple guns in my collection, and if you want something, now's the time to buy it. So, rather be safe than sorry. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching, guys, and take her easy.